Hi guys, so just wanted to do a very quick video to show you a tip I've just kind of found out myself when it comes to soldering. Now, I kind of hate soldering. I've always hated it. I'm rubbish at it, and whenever you get a new ESC or batteries or whatever and you want to do a change of connectors or something, it's been a real pain for me. So you know, lots of sweating, lots of swearing, lots of just stuff. So just now I did a bit of soldering on this ESC that I've just got from GearBest, and you can see it there. Basically it's just to connect these female bullets on, so I can connect it up to the motor I've got. And as usual, you know, that involves a bit of easy soldering, really, just to get those on. That's my cheap soldering iron from eBay. I think it was like £8, and I've got this little stand that you can kind of grips. One grips the cable and one grips the item you're soldering on, like that. My solder, which again is it's all real cheap stuff. But so I kind of put it down to the cheap stuff I was using, and I always thought, oh, I've got to get a decent soldering iron and all that kind of thing. But basically, the little tip I want to share with you is that the wire comes pre-soldered anyway on this, but you'd pre-solder your wire and get some solder into the cable, and then I did the same with the connector. So basically, you know, pre-solder the connector so it's got some solder in there. But I mean, this is one that I had done in the past, and it obviously fell off, so it didn't work. And that's always the trouble I've had. Basically, when I've tried to solder two things together, no matter how much solder is on each side, I could never get it. It made the cable really hot, or it made the items really hot, but never hot enough to just solder them together and just to fuse them. So I always struggled. But all I did, the only change I made, was I put a really big blob of solder on the end of my iron. Not just a little blob, but like a big, you know, a big nice blob of it. And basically, I carried on doing that and just put the solder between the item I want to heat up, I suppose, or the area I want to heat up. And that blob, I think, or you know, what my mind's telling me happened, is that blob basically helped transfer the heat from the soldering iron into the item I was trying to solder. And basically, having that big blob on there, it heated up the two items like within 10 seconds, and they just soldered together, and that was it. So I did it with all three of these, and it worked a treat. So that's basically my quick tip. Is basically I knew to pre-tin the end of this. I knew to get some solder on it and to clean it. I know it looks dirty at the moment, but to clean it on the damp sponge that's just there. I knew all that, but I thought pre-soldering it, you know, the solder often just falls off, so I thought I'd done it correctly, but obviously I hadn't. So basically, the tip is just make sure that end of your iron is really, really soldered up. It's got a lot of solder on it. If you're doing this type of thing, I know if you're doing other soldering things, you wouldn't want to do that, really neat, tiny things. But in this case, soldering on connectors like this, it just worked for me like never before. So I just wanted to share it with you. Alright, cheers guys!